and plays that toe-to-toe, okay, let's see if I can EMP your Storms and out-micro your Colossi and just keep doing that, take a fourth base. He doesn't do that very often.
Yeah. Could have been the answer in that game. Try to take an earlier third base to match the greed of stats. But like you said, that's not really his style. Just tried to do what he's used to. And it didn't work out here. So, fourth map, guys, is going to be Foxtrot Labs.
That it is. Cross-spawn map. And spawning location is kind of important in this matchup. Talk about that a little bit later. But I got a feel for INnoVation here. That was a tough loss to take. Let's see if he can close it out. INnoVation actually paused the game instantly, and the Korean commentator, the Korean observer, immediately started to type, "Why did you pause that?" And actually did type that off camera. So, in old times, if you pause the game like that without actually speaking to anyone, it could cause a lot of problems and disqualifications and whatnot, and even typing the wrong number of P's in chat could cause disqualifications. I really don't. I mean, we've moved into a new era where this does not happen.
It's a more liberal era, more understanding. Possible that his keyboard just stopped working because that kind of thing can happen. You're not able to press PPP if your keyboard doesn't work.
Well, I mean, he still pressed the pause button, so I guess in some way his keyboard maybe his mouse didn't work.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm just going to look at everything because he didn't do anything except he did make his first SCV. Okay, his screen turned black except his mouse. So this bug has actually happened to me before where like my whole screen goes black but I can see the mouse in StarCraft. So I know like that does happen. And definitely, in the spirit of maintaining the game's legitimacy for as long as possible, I can understand in this panicked moment to just pause before being like, hey, hold on a second. Hey, come over here and pause it for me.
These games matter so much. It's hard to like always follow the rules 100%, because you care so much. You don't want to get behind.
And honestly, the rules could be updated even. I don't even know if this is like an illegal pause. I don't think that's going to matter at all. Like you said, we're in a much more liberal era. It's where if anybody gets in trouble for this, I'm going to be kind of pissed myself, actually. Like, I think we're actually going to be fine here, but
it's unfortunate, the vehicle of esports, it's technology. Like, okay,
sure.
So sometimes it doesn't work out, and you got to fix it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
And so hopefully this gets resolved soon. I'm just constantly watching the screen to see if anything changes. The spawning locations, you guys already saw those earlier. So it's top left for stats, bottom right for INnoVation. He made his SCV on time. Everything is normal. So this game could probably be resumed without a restart. It's just up to the referees to decide if that's what we're gonna do. The game will be remade, actually.
Mm-hmm. So stick with us, guys, as we bide our time here. I guess you can go grab a drink if you wanted to, if you missed that little break in between the games.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I jump right back into this game immediately. The little break we're going to have here is not too long, though, so if you're thinking about like taking a longer break or something.
Don't start cooking or something.
Don't do that.
Wait until the end of this matchup at least.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be like a less than 2-minute thing, I think, getting back into this game and restarting it.
Yeah. You could maybe make yourself like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That would be like the extent of the cooking you could do, but not so much more than that.
Right. I'm like checking this like a hawk because normally I don't have an observing PC, and now that I can see everything, I'm like, ooh. I know that, for example, INnoVation did not turn his computer off or log out, so we're not going to have the PC changed. I have all the information, I have all the clues.
Those are the long breaks, the PC switches. Don't want to have those.
No, we definitely do not. Those are usually like commercial break level breaks that we end up having. So the game has been rehosted, and I'm going to jump into it. And I think we're just going to have a regame, so spawns are going to potentially change. If we have a resume from replay, I'll let you guys know that as well. I don't see why we would, but something that has happened before. And actually, that is what we're going to have. We're going to have our game recovered.
Maybe just...
Okay, so literally they're going to, for the sake of spawning locations only, recover the game and then start from 0 seconds. So it's going to just be for the sake of preserving the spawning locations. And that's actually pretty cool that we can do that.
That is awesome. I love this, actually, that you're just able to do this. They're actually saying it in chat now. They're telling the players from 0 seconds. So we're basically just restarting the game with exact same positions.
Yep. And there's nobody messed up their building their first worker, so it's just going to be completely redone here, and nothing's going to change. So just takes like maybe 15 seconds for that replay to be loaded up and recovered.
Yeah.
And so there's not much else to say. Luckily, INnoVation's screen problem was a temporary one, and there were no issues whatsoever with that. The game was immediately paused at 0 seconds before the players could even click on their workers.
And they're asking if they're both ready now.
Yep, just making sure there's no weirdnesses with their, anything that's going on with their PCs. Nothing is weird, and everything is set and resume. We're going to go back into the game.
Here we go, guys. So I guess in the top left, the Red Protoss from KT Rolster was able to squeak out a win here. It is Stats.
And to the bottom right, in blue is INnoVation. His spawning locations preserved. In the spirit of the highest level of competition.
In the spirit of Christmas.
In the spirit of Christmas.
One of these players should be using green.
What's funny to me, actually, that it's strange because I've been commenting StarCraft 2 for ever since even the beta, right? So I've been doing this for 4.5-ish years now. I think that's about as long as I've been doing this. And in the beginning of time, we had a lot of technical issues, and sometimes this would happen in the beginning of the game, and spawning locations would change, and that would be something to discuss. But I like that we've moved to this new era where if something happens or the game is dropped at an hour in, just crazy. Ooh, gas first.
Yeah.
But if something happens where the game is dropped an hour in, you don't have to restart and go, wow, that was a crazy situation. We have battle cruisers and ultras out like the old World Championship game where there was a disconnect.
Those are just the most unfortunate of situations ever.
Now we can preserve spawning locations. Like, we've got the technology is there. Things have improved.
We've come this far.
We've come this far. Okay, so gas first here again.
Looks like you only put 2 guys in the gas.
Yeah, initially, but did put the third one in. I just checked that.
Okay.
So this is a build that got him a victory on Catalina, just simply by defending Stats' all in, and Stats is just cheesing every game. I think he's kind of figured this out. He's like, you're just doing weird stuff, and I'm gonna do an aggressive build. Your detection is late, and I'm gonna punish you. It's gonna be a proxy factory too. This is going to get really weird.
Yeah, it is, especially depending on what Stats is going to make as well. I mean, based on that location, you could definitely say Stargate. It is so close by air. Just go over that lip and pop it in there.
Yeah,
those oracles. But look at this. Already second SCV on the way, possibly for the scout.
Now, the Oracle build obviously does well against this gas first when the proxies or the factory is proxied because they have no widow mines at home. Whereas if you do like a widow mine drop and you don't proxy the factory, then you might just have a defensive widow mine, which can sometimes just kill the Oracle outright, make it a lot harder to harass and do damage. It's kind of like a shadow turret or something in a weird sense. But let's see how this one plays out. Nexus and Mothership Core go down, so it's not a rushed Stargate with that proxy, but it's definitely going to be the next step of this build as soon as he hits 150, 150. And there it is, placed down there.
Whereas for INnoVation, he's just going for that Widow Mine drop. Very strong build as well. It's not quite as close as Stats' proxy here. So going to take a little while longer to get in there and get that drop going.
So let's talk about all factors here. Just like we had last time with the Blink Stalker all in clashed with this type of build. There's no detection for the Widow Mines. So if the Widow Mine burrows and gets a few probe kills, it's going to be able to deny probe mining until detection is out, until that Oracle comes home, for example, or if he starts a robo for safety here in a second when that Observer comes out. It's obviously very late. What happens for INnoVation is he has, units that he can rally, that he can spawn, but this time only from one barracks. So if this Oracle starts to snowball here and he doesn't have any Widow Mines at home, all he has is these First Marines, which, by the way, are way out of position. Things could snowball very quickly. He's going to lose a lot of mining time to this Oracle. got no turrets, obviously not even in eBay, and he's moving the Marines across the map.
He's trying to go aggressive here. He saw that Nexus, and I think he's not reading the fact that this proxy is coming down. It's very tricky at stats, but INnoVation, he was just holding those Marines out there for such a long time to deny scouting on the fact that he doesn't have a command center for a very long time. Is actually going for his own proxy. So here we go.
Here we go.
He's going to get really crazy, guys.
This really is. The Observer's going to have some crazy multitasking to follow all of this. Several workers going down, 5 already. And here's that double Widow Mine drop. He's not paying attention because he's microing his Oracle. There goes the Nexus cannon, but guess what? That doesn't give detection. Only 4 probes killed for now, and he can't just run them all to the natural. This is going to require some multitasking on INnoVation's part. He's going to have to split up his Widow Mines, and that's going to have to be something he does very carefully as well. The second Oracle is going home for detection, and a Robo has started. He's actually just going to leave both Widow Mines there.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes the third one walking actually into the third, so he does split them up in that sense. There's, attacking both locations, forcing detection to be used twice. 3 more kills, and a 4th and a 5th additional kill as well. 25 Harvesters to 16 in favor of stats right now.
Another Widow Mine coming in here towards that natural, but he will be able to clean this up with that Nexus cannon, or rather just the Mothership Core. He does get away, actually, with one of these Widow Mines. Yeah. So very nicely done. But the Oracle is back.
Yep, and there's Marines here this time. But with that proxy, you barely have any units. This does give INnoVation a little bit more flexibility. He's going to have to rely on the Mothership Core and that cannon to actually kill units. That one's going to die, that Stalker that's warping in. So a little bit of damage. They save it? Oh, barely not.
Just missed it.
All right, so worker count 30 to 18, massively in favor of stats right now. And he's had his Nexus up for a long time. He clears up these Widow Mines. INnoVation does have double mules, but his bases are always going to be under the threat of these Oracles. Both survived.
Somehow able to get 3 more kills, 3 more probe kills with another Widow Mine here. He's just continuously making one at a time and trying to micro them in and out and get whatever kills he can. He's actually coming back for another pass.
He knows without an Observer out that the Oracle always has to be lurking around. Already pre-split, though, by stats. He's not worried about that at all. I worry for INnoVation holding his base because he doesn't have the answer for a massive amount of Stalkers and Oracles. The DPS versus Marines and light units is actually insane with this type of push. That Widow Mine does get cleaned up. And Stats has the economy to continue to warp in Stalkers. Let's see if INnoVation can hold here. It's probably going to have to lift this out of here. Mule's going down, which is one of the only things he had to rely on with that low SCV count. Losing both of those right away. And the CC is basically just a tank at this point to buy time. He's going to start moving up towards those supply depots, knowing he can't possibly kill the kill the command center. And one of those will go down, which will actually supply block, and the second one is going to take some damage as well. And with the high ground vision of this Observer, Marines lose to Stalkers without stim.
Yeah, he's trading so well here, and he's not even bringing in the Oracles just yet.
And here they come.
I don't know, he's going to get a huge, great trade out of this. He's killing so many Marines really fast with this.
Yeah, this is an insane amount of damage. Remember, he's losing a lot of mining time because that orbital is landed in the main base as well. So many more SCVs going down and Stalkers coming in to possibly just end the game. That depot's going to fall too, don't forget, because it's burning right now. And once that falls, he's going to find himself in an awkward position supply-wise as well. And this stim is exposed. Actually, that's concussive shells he's researching right there, which would be a great upgrade to have. He's going to bait out some focus fire here on those Stalkers. Killing even more SCVs right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's just holding on right now. You know, he's not getting great trades. He's just losing so many SCVs. He's just trying to get some function of an army here, but it's just not enough. Stats has so many warp-ins here, and he keeps trading here. He's able to take out a medevac as well.
Ooh, nice Widow Mine shot, though, meanwhile. It's actually crazy multitasking by INnoVation to be able to get that. And with just vanilla Marines again versus Stalkers, the Stalkers win the fight every time. Even sometimes when the Marines have a concave at the top of a ramp. When you have vision, Stalkers outrange Marines. They outspeed them as well. And he's just continuing to keep the Marine count down as low as he can so he can keep up this tempo pressure while he has the better probe count, while he has 2 mining bases. And he's going to start adding some tech in pretty soon. I think he'll probably even add his Robo Bay in just a second. Going to pick off a medevac for free. Oopsie daisy on that one from INnoVation. I think INnoVation will eventually hold this, but it's just the problem of how much damage has been done here already. Yeah. And how easy it is to just transition back at home.
Just continuous pressure. I mean, he's just getting 2 Stalkers at a time, making a more forward pylon here even. And he's just trading so well.
If he can stop...
Going to be able to... Yeah, look at this. I mean, he's definitely going to be able to get that. He's going to trade here, but then just focus it down.
If he can stop Stim and keep focusing these medevacs, then, I mean, what can INnoVation do? He's just going to keep losing units. It's a trade, but when you have twice the economy of your opponent, you can trade forever.
2 more Stalkers coming in, a third one as well. Able to pick off that Observer. That is a small thing, but again, that's not a mule. So,
well, this time with the medevac there and that many Marines, he has to slow down. Since he keeps warping in Stalkers, he has not advanced his tech further back at home. He needs to be careful not to overextend here. But without Stim, you know, he could definitely afford to do this a bit longer. I like that. A Stalker for a medevac, that's a pretty okay trade. Especially because if there are no medevacs here and he has no Stim, he can keep pressuring. And if he kills the medevacs, that also means that there can't be any drop harass where he doesn't have that many units at home. Getting a third Nexus now and continuing to deny this command center. Might even pick off a Marauder. Oh, smartly pulled back there by INnoVation.
Trying to just go up the ramp here. Just had that Observer at the top again to just get that vision. Reposition that there, and slowly the Marauders are coming out. This push is going to get less and less effective. But like you said, third base coming up here. He's transitioning. He's probably just going to leave eventually. I mean, he'll hold the bottom of that ramp, make it so that possibly INnoVation has to go for a drop outside. And he's going to keep him in here for another very long time.
Yeah, with the Sentry here, it forces the drop to be used to get out of here. And that puts you in a vulnerable spot with all those Stalkers out there. Another Oracle's being made. But yeah, keep all your attention focused on my Stalkers. Try to break down the ramp. If you do, I'm going to send an Oracle in and harass you. This is a terrible position for INnoVation. And even just scouting with his medevacs here, just making sure there's nothing additional down there. And we can safely move down the ramp. First Colossus is on the way. I mean, INnoVation's got a healthy army, but it's just going to be tough to move across the map and use it. More and more damage being done here. He targets down mules for a second even. Way too much damage. INnoVation might even just want to move on to the next game at this point.
Yeah, should be able to take out that Oracle, and he does, but so much damage. He finally retakes his natural. But again, he's making missile turrets. He's trying to defend. Right now we got Colossi on the way. Third base. This is a Protoss with a booming economy, a booming army as well. And that's what we got here for the Terran. Just some basic bio and not the greatest upgrades.
Only one Colossus on the map. A lot of Zealots and 2 Sentries. His third base is going to be defendable. It's not going to be easy. He's going to have to micro well. No combat shields is kind of a tough situation for INnoVation. He would have had it by now had his Stim not been canceled. And we've had Stim a lot earlier too, which would have just further made things easier to defend. Kind of a chain reaction here. Let's see if he uses Time Warp in a Nexus Cannon. I think that's the best usage he could go for here. Well, if INnoVation commits, that is. He's being very patient. Both the players are patient on saving that Mothership core energy until it's absolutely necessary, and patient on INnoVation not to just dart into that huge Protoss army. Range almost done now, though. Second Colossus popping out. This is going to be almost impossible to do damage with.
Combat Shield's going to finish up here. That Observer placement out of stats is actually stellar. He sees everything. He saw the drops going. He's trying that small army going towards the third base.
He knows the comp exactly. You know, he knows the ratio of Marines, Marauders. 2 Forges going up. That confidence right there. That's how ahead he knows he is. Range finishes for Colossi, and this push should be pushed back easily.
Yeah. Kind of just a sad last attack here. That's definitely not going to work.
GG.
Stats. Comes back, man. 2 in a row.
Very well played. Very, very well played. Good crisis management against the Widow Mines. Oracles did just so much damage. And that ball of attack, INnoVation wasn't ready for it. Losing Stim basically lost him the game. You lose that Stim, and you lose all the tempo that you have to potentially continue to hold on. And then your Stim is late, so your combat shields are late when you finally break out. But the one advantage that you have is your opponent doesn't have that much AoE damage, and you want to hit that same sort of attack timing that you would normally, but you don't have combat shields, and your army is not big enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point as well. Stats was just so far ahead that his army was like twice the size of INnoVation's, as well as like double the cost. it really just came down to Stats' kind of oracle coming in a lot earlier, able to deny the natural from mining as well with that follow-up push with the Stalkers, and just slowly getting more and more ahead and just able to expand back at home just super comfortably. He had total control of that game from the beginning from the oracle.